Thank you very much, members. Thank you to G that is coming all the way from Escobar. Let me welcome all of you to this, the third session. And we take next bhajan, then we go straight into Panditji. We take one from Devi, and then we go into Pandit.
Jagarambe, Jai Jagarambe, Jagarambe, Jai Jagarambe, Maur Vishali. Jagarambe, Jai Jagarambe,
Behenji Devi for the wonderful bhajan glorifying the name of Divine Mother. Let me say a very, very special welcome to our dear Vyasji and the members of his group that's here tonight. And we hope you're...
Check one. Princess Mahapati Mahadev ki jai, Vrindavan Behari Lal ki jai. Let us all stand as we begin this beautiful night. And this is where we are about to wave the divine light around the beautiful murtis of our deities. And this is where we now join the wonderful arati to our Lord. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Nishidana tumko jyavata Hari Brahma Shivaji. Nishidana tumko jyavata Hari Brahma Shivaji. Jayambe Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri. 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 Om Dhum Durgaya Namaha. all take our seats. Tonight, my dear friends, as we begin once more a beautiful night, where we touch the feet of the Divine Mother, Sri Adi Shakti, Sri Bhavani Mata, Durga Devi, we take this wonderful opportunity as we welcome each and every one to tonight's devotion on this, the third night of our Navaratri celebrations, right here in this most beautiful mandir. On behalf of the entire team of our wonderful mandir, on behalf of the host and the hostess, we say Swagatam, Namaskar, a cordial welcome to each and every one. For tonight, when we take this moment to worship Parashakti Devi, we are praying for our mother's love, her blessing, her guidance, and her protection. We'd like to especially welcome the members of the Celestial Gandharvas, to all those who have come from far and near to join in this most auspicious spot. Special welcome to all. And to all those who are tuned in via Facebook, wherever you are in this world, taking a moment to receive darshan of our Divine Mother, we especially welcome you to our Yajna. As we begin this beautiful night, at this time now, without further ado, let us all sit upright. Let us close our eyes as we're about to join in our invocation prayer, where we cast out the world, we forget everything around us, and we concentrate on the feet of that Divine Mother, Sri Adi Shakti. We begin with Omkar 3 times. Om. Guru mere va sarvakareshu sarvada ya Devi sarvabhuteshu Durga rupena samskrita namastasya 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 namo namah Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi rupena samstita Namastasya 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 namo namah Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu Saraswati rupena samstita Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare. And we praise Sri Durga Mata. On this night, we sacrifice our time, our efforts, our energy to praise Devi Ma. And while we have come tonight united as one family with love and with determination, with that spiritual energy intact and ready to receive the darshan of Devi Ma, we pray, Ma, as a child before you, that you will guide us and you will protect us, and you will bless our homes and bless our lives with richness and with health and with strength. And as we glorify you, Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Pranams and adorations to your golden form, Ma, as we praise you tonight. Jayante Mangala Kale Bhadrakale Kapalini Durga Kshama Shivadatre Swaha Sabha Namo Stuti Yes, Yashode, Rupande, Jayone. And we praise Lord Shiva tonight, the consort of the Divine Mother, Prabhu Shankar. It is said Lord Shiva is known to be the divine and personified form of peace. And when we worship Devi Shakti, how can we forget Mahadev? For tonight, as we praise you, O Lord Mahadev, may you create peace in our hearts and in our mind and in our lives. For as we salute you, as we prostrate before you, we will continue to chant that most powerful mantra of yours. It is that Panchakshara mantra, 5-syllable mantra. Tonight we will put our love together. As we praise your name, we will chant all together. Om Namah Shivaya. शिव का नाम भजरे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजरे, शिव का नाम भजरे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजरे, शिव का नाम भजरे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजरे, भजरे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजरे. Feet of the Mother with 40 verses of Sri Durga Chalisa. निरंकार है ज्योति तुम्हारी, निरंकार है उजियारी. Everybody बोलो. नमो नमो दुर्गे सुंदरी, नमो नमो. क्या बात, all together. आज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की. नमो नमो दुर्गे सुंदरी, नमो नमो. All together we sing tonight. Namo namo durge sundarani, namo namo amre durgare, nirankar hai jyoti tumhare, नमो नमो अम्बे दुर्गहरे नमो नमो वृंदावन में हरिलाल की जगदम्बा देवी माता की आज शक्ति जगत. As we're about to begin this beautiful night, my friends, before we join in our message and our katha or pravachan taken from the Golan, there is also a day that is dedicated to which God also? Anybody knows? Who? Yeah. How is Bhagwan Krishna connected to Durga Devi? Do you all know? Have you ever heard any connection with Lord Krishna and Durga Ma? No? Maybe? Maybe not? In the time of Shri Krishna Janmashtami celebrations, have you ever heard of the birth of Bhagwan Shri Krishna? How many people have heard the birth of Lord Krishna? What have you heard of the birth of Lord Krishna? Can't remember now. In the cell. And while he was born in the cell, his father, Vasudeva, he took him across the river. Did he come back empty-handed? What did he come back with? Yeah. You all know the katha well. What is the connection of Devi Mata? Before Lord Krishna came on the earth, Bhagwan Gopal, Lord Vishnu, his most powerful, that divine Rupa, the avatar of the Lord, sat down in the heavens and he called Amba Devi. He says, Maya, I'm about to go back on the earth. The world knows it that whenever there's a decline in righteousness, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya taratmanam shrajatyaham. Whenever there's a decline, he says, I will go back and save the world. But Ma, I need your blessing today. As a brother and as a sister, can we work together? Bhagavatam speaks of that. And there Devi Mata says, okay, let's work together then. How will we work together? She says, Prabhu, you take your avatar. If you think your body will be threatened, we will exchange places at one point. And when we exchange places, leave king comes up to me. You go and you grow up and you do what you have to do. And to those who remember the katha, it is said Devi Mata was exchanged, and on that day when king comes, held the baby. Tonight let us all sing together for Bhagwan Gopal. All together, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Rama. And everybody all in the back. Rama, Rama. I think tonight we have to feed them a little extra. So we'll eat them a little more. Krishna Nirhelana ki, Aaj Shakti Durga Mata ki. We're about to change the tune a little bit. But we're going to sing the same Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just a different tune. So everybody sing with me and let us clap tonight. Let us build the energy, the aura of Bhagwan Gopal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Rama Rama. Shri Krishna ke Lal ki, Bhakti Bihari Lal ki Jai. On this beautiful night, my dear friends, while we are about to praise our deities and our lords of the heavens, our katha begins in Devi Bhagavatam, where we speak of Prabhu Shankar and Devi Mata. The consort of the divine Lord Prabhu Shankar Bholinath is none other than the Dulahin of Lord Shiva is Parvati Mata. It is said Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi, they are sitting on their beautiful Parvat at the top of the mountains. They are staying in Kailash Parvat. And while they're sitting and doing all their meditation in Kailash Parvat, Prabhu Shankar says, you know what? Gods beg to come on the earth sometimes to feel love, to feel the love of the people of the world, to feel the care and the affection. He says, but Devi, let us go down to the earth and let us go to the forest. I want to feel the energy of the animals around. So Lord Shiva wants to go to the earth. He says, but I don't want anybody to know me. So he decides to go down to the earth and he changes his form. He doesn't look like Mahadev with the jata, the trishul and so on, no. He changes his form and he's about to go to the earth. And while he's about to go, Devi with one another. And while they're playing with one another, they're laughing and they're dancing and they're running around the trees. It is like Bhagwan Gopal and Radharani. One day, it is said Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Radha, they were playing hide and seek. And while they were playing hide and seek, all of a sudden, while Radha is looking for Krishna, she really lost him. She decided now in herself and in her mind, she says, you know what, I think I've lost the Lord. So because I've lost the Lord, I give up. When he's ready, he will come back. So she sat down by a tree, and when she sat there by herself, she now became sad and she bent her head and she said, you know what, when he's ready to come, he will come. Hours passed. She became depressed. And when she sat there by herself, suddenly she felt two hands coming around her and suddenly covering her eyes. For 1 second, she became scared. Who is this in the forest? Because I don't know where Kanha left and he went and I'm here alone. Somebody covered the eyes, and when he covered the eyes were covered. She then took her hands to move it. But when she felt it, it is said the said hands that covered her eyes were the said hands that she was looking for. It was her Lord. While they were playing this pastime, Prabhu Shankar, Lord Shiva and Parvati Mata, they are playing the same game, hide and seek. And while they're playing the same game, Prabhu Lord Shiva, he's standing by a tree. And Parvati Devi walks up to him. She walks from behind. She takes her hands and she covers the eyes. And as soon as she covers the eyes, she doesn't just cover the two physical eyes. She covers the three eyes of Lord Shiva. Even the Divya Chakshu, third eye. She covered that eye. That eye controls the entire cosmos. The moment the eyes of Lord Shiva were covered, it is said suddenly in the skies, the clouds started to cover the skies. It is said it was as though the sun was then blocked off. The earth started to look dark. It is said all the light from Bhagwan Surya was not to be seen anywhere. And as soon as she realized that the place was getting dark, she became scared. What is happening? And it was because she had covered the eyes of Mahadev. And because she pressed it so tight, it is said one teardrop of Lord Shiva, not a tear as in tears, but it is said one of the teardrops of Lord Shiva dropped and it just fell right in front. And as soon as it was about to fall, she moved her hands and the entire skies then came back bright and beautiful again. But when the skies became bright, from the teardrop that fell on the earth. It is said, manifesting from that drop, as soon as it hit the earth, it just manifested. It manifested into a child. The child was born of the eyes and the tears of Prabhu Shankar. But there was one problem. Lord Shiva's eyes were covered. The place became dark. The skin of that child was dark. His face and his complexion was dark, as he was born when it was darkness. It is said, while the teardrop was about to fall, while the eyes were covered, the Lord was blinded. The child was born, but blind. While this child is blind and dark in complexion, Devi Mata looks and she says, Prabhu, dekho na, look. We're playing a game here, but look what happened out of this game. A child is born out of this game. What do we do with this child? And Prabhu says, well, if the child was born from my teardrops, you're my dole, and who will take care of the child? You have to take care of the child. Devi took up the child and she looked at the child, dark in complexion, blinded by the eye. And she says, okay, Prabhu, we will come up with a plan and we will see what will take place. And while they're about to think of that plan, worship to that divine Lord, Devi says, Prabhu, how powerful are you? How great are you that from the mere teardrops, a child has taken birth. Lord, we have changed our form and our look to come on the earth to enjoy. And look at what has happened. Let me ask you this question tonight. Do you know the people in your life who you claim to say they are close to you? How many people here can say that you have a best friend? How many people have a best friend? You have a best friend? That's your best friend, Mama? Wow. You have a best friend? How many people best friend is me? Thank you. Who is our best friend? Who are the people we consider? Now listen to this. Devi and Lord Shiva changed their form and they came to the earth. How many people around you have changed their forms and you don't know who they really are? How many people play or act to be your friend and they are not? How many people they laugh with you but they really don't like you? How many people smile with you but in their mind they're saying, what are you laughing at me for? How many people around you have changed their forms and while you consider the world, they look back at you and say, look at you, we're all fooling. Be careful who your friends are. Lord Shiva, it is said along with the Divine Mother, they are wondering what to do with this child. And Devi says, you are the Lord of greatness. I will worship you today and the answer will come. Samay ekata rajag bole jalatal nabhame madhur se bole Om Namah Om Namah Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya. जग के संता पर मनवा जब तुझको हरवाए मोह माया के जूते बंधन जब तुझको हरवाए जब नाम करे बोले बोले ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमः जब तक मोही सासु कन्हैया प्यारे ना चल बंदे पठित पावन नाम हरिषा उसके नाम के धन से जीवन के चदरिया बोले ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय समय कैकता राजा का बोले जल तल हमें मधुर से बोले हरि क्या बात है? ओ एक बार और ओ Lord Shiva speaks to Parvati Devi and they're holding this baby in their hand and they're wondering now what to do with this child. In the meantime, on the earth, how many devotees are praying to Prabhu Shankar? How many people every day in your life you get up and you make an offering to Lord Shiva? How many people, they wake up regularly, every other day, once a week, maybe having a fasting day, and they make offering of jal on top of your lingam. When we speak about the lingam of Lord Shiva, how many people have a lingam in your home? Everybody? Do you know when you have a Shiv lingam in your home, every day a diya is supposed to lit and be there? I've gone to many homes where there's puja and prayer and worship, and when you go as a pandit and you walk into the home, everybody, Pandit, come, look at my nice big lingam, big so. Pandit, I bring this. When Mahadev was worshipped in the right way, Prabhu Shankar, he's seeing many people on the earth, they are praising his name. And Devi says, look down there. I think that's the right person. He says, who is the right person? Look, that person there. His name is Hiranyaksha. You all know the name Hiranyaksha? Hiranyaksha have a brother. If I tell you the name, then you might remember. Hiranyaksha has a brother. Anybody knows what is the brother's name? Anybody know who's the brother of Hiranyaksha? No, Narish, not you. Nobody? It rhymes with Hiranyaksha. Yeah. Hiranyakashipu. Where does Hiranyakashipu name come from? Bhagwa and Holy and Prahalad and the entire episode. It is said Hiranyakashipu's brother is Hiranyaksha. Hiranyakashipu had 5 sons. Hiranyaksha had none. Hiranyakashipu had many things. As a king, he had many things. They are demons by birth and by race. But he had a kingdom. Hiranyaksha has a kingdom. Hiranyakashipu has a kingdom. Devi says, look at Hiranyaksha. He's praying. And Lord Shiva says, but look at him. The whole demon clan with him. He have money, he have food, he have wealth. What would he really want? Devi says, listen to his prayer. Money is not everything in the world. It is said the money could buy the biggest house, but it cannot buy a home. It is said the money could buy the bed, but the money can't buy sleep. Yeah, a little sleep every time. Money is not everything. It is something. Don't get me wrong. If you don't work for money, you can't live happy. That is the world we live in today. But it is not everything in your life. It does not bring a peace of heart and a peace of mind. You can have all the money in the world, and if when you lie down in the night and you close your eyes and it's time to sleep, you're miserable here, what kind of life is that? You must have a peace of mind, peace of heart, understanding. Lord Shiva says he has everything. What would he want? Devi says, listen to his prayer. Listen what he's asking for. And Hiranyaksha is saying, Lord, wherever you are, my brother has 5 sons as the demon. But today, I'm praying, can I have at least one? And when Lord Shiva hears that prayer, he says, oh, well, we have one. We have a child and we can't keep him here. Devi, you know what? Let's give this child to Hiranyaksha. So Lord Shiva is about to now manifest before. And he comes down midway in mid-air, and there, while this Hiranyaksha is praying, lo and behold, when he opens his eyes, he sees a beautiful child in front of him. The child is dark in skin and dark in color. And when he sees him dark in color, he looks at the child and he picks him up automatically, and he looks at him and he says, Are beta, God has blessed me with this child. Prabhu, Shankar Bholenath, thank you so much, Lord. And he thanks the Lord, Mahadev. And when he looks at the child, he realizes that while he's trying to play with the child isn't noticing anything because the child is blind. So he says, you know what? It is better to still have a child, even though he's blind, than to be begging for a child and I can't even have one. There are many people in the world who have your children, and there are many people who wish to have and they can't. To those who have your children, thank God for them. We might say, but not my son, you don't know him. You don't know how much trouble them children give me. It is up to you to mold them the right way. Don't blame anybody else. It is up to you to groom them the right way. Teach them prayer, teach them worship, teach them God, teach them how to do your devotion. While you're here tonight, while you were growing up, did you have an easy life? Did anyone have an easy life? If you did something wrong, what happened to you? Yeah, licks. You say licks like peas. If you do something wrong, you're going to get scolded badly. If something happens in your house and mommy look at you so, you know what I mean? Stay quiet and go in your room and you stay right there. Don't come out. But what about today's world? When the child gives problems today, what you tell them? Leave him now. Give him a chance. He will learn. And you know what? The same children today now, they're growing without values. They're growing without character. They're growing without morals. We must teach them the right thing. Teach them how to pray. Teach them how to come to the mandir. Teach them how to sing. All the little children I see in between here tonight, God bless you for coming out. Teach them how to sit and to worship the gods and to be a part of the Yajna, the satsang. It is a blessing. While he holds his child, he says to himself, I'm about to give this child a name. Remember how we give him name, Rajesh? He decides to give this child his name, and when he looks at the child, he says, Anda means blind. And because you're my son today and you have been born blind, I will call you Andak. You will be my child that's called Andak. The child who is born but is blind. And he starts to teach his child all the good things. He teaches them how to be powerful. He teaches them how to be strong. He teaches them how to stand up in society, how to be a person of moral and value. But just remember, by birth, while he has come from the Lord, he's growing up in the home of a Rakshasa. He's growing up in the home of Hiranyaksha. It is at that time, while his son is growing up, he's strong and he's powerful. And at the same time, the Katha tells us that he lives in a home now with his father, Hiranyaksha, with his mother, and he also now lives after a period of time with some step-brothers in that home. And while he's growing up with his step-brothers, it is at that point in our scripture where he Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda. Jai Bhagwan. Hari Keshava, Hari Govinda, Hari Shri Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki jai. Hari Sundara Hare Keshava, Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana, Hari Vanamale Murali Dhare, Govardhan Girivardhare. Vanamale Murali Dhare, Govardhan Girivardhare. Nitya Nitya Karma Chore, Gopi Manhare. Nitya Nitya Karma Chore, Gopi Manhare. Hari Sundara Hari Narayana Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Narayana. Shiva ki Bihari Lal ki jai, Gajananda Swami ki jai. It is said at this time when Andak, who is living in his kingdom, is living with his father, Hiranyaksha decides to go now to fight a war with his brother. He's fighting alongside his brother, and Bhagavan Vishnu destroyed Hiranyakashipu. And then before you know it, Hiranyaksha, he also died on the battlefield. When the father, Hiranyaksha, died on the battlefield, at that point, Andak thought to himself, I have been loved by my father for all these days. And being loved by my father, he says, today now, I will sit on the throne and I will conduct everything. I've learned all the skills and all the art of running the kingdom. And being a part of the entire demon clan, I will stay here, I will remain here, and I will learn everything that there is. Remain powerful in the name of my father. So Andak sits on the throne and he carries out the orders. And while he's carrying out the orders, a little problem is about to start now. You see, while he sits on the throne, his stepbrothers, they look at him and they say, but you are brother to us, but how is it that you could get the throne and we can't? How is it that you got the first opportunity but we couldn't? And a little fight is about to begin there. A little trouble is about to stir up there. And now they're having a fight amongst themselves as brothers as to what to do and what will take place. In many people's lives and in many people's homes, there are problems like this, not so? If mommy favors somebody, next brother vex. If mommy give one daughter something a little more than the other, next child vex. If somebody sees something more than the other, somebody becomes upset. And that is why, friends, tonight we must understand that in our home, there must be love. We must work together. In the name of God, we must work together, united as one family. We came together, not to fight, but to work together. When you work together, you will become prosperous. When you work together, you will become successful. When you work together, you will achieve anything that you want to. Working together is the key. While two of them are working together, or while he wants them to work together, nobody wants to. Why? Because power is involved. When power is involved, sometimes a brother doesn't know who is a brother after that. I saw something really nice. When I understood, Bhaiji Energy was telling me that him and his brother worked together for the mandir to make sure many things come together and come possible. Then I remember thinking of the brotherhood. When Prabhu Ramachandra, when he had seen Vibhishan, he says, he says, I told my brother to listen. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya. He says, I told Ravana to listen, but when I told him listen to me, instead of he listening, he gave me a kick. Ravan kicked down his own brother because he didn't want to listen to anything. So Vibhishan says, Prabhu, destroy Lanka if you must, don't worry. I'm standing with you. Brothers must learn to work together. Sisters must learn to work together. People must come together to work to make things happen and make it possible. Stop fighting one another. Stop fighting who is better than who, and who is the best, and who has more, and who will achieve more. Stop the fight in the world, my friends. Today in our Katha, while these brothers are fighting, it is said they are fighting for a kingdom. In Mahabharata, it is said the Pandavas and the Kauravas, they are cousins who are fighting for a kingdom. And they reached so far that while they are fighting, they start to gamble for the kingdom too. To those who know the Katha, it is said they were gambling for the kingdom and they forgot everything. They lost their mind at that point. While they were gambling, the Pandavas are Arjuna, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakula, Sahadev. And while they were fighting for the kingdom, they gambled. And when they gambled, they lost everything. Imagine now the Pandavas and the Kauravas, these men, they are standing together, they are playing a game of dice. Anybody here gamble? Oh, they won't tell me that. Imagine they were gambling, and while they were gambling, they rolled the dice, and Arjuna lost. And he says, okay, don't worry, my big brother could play better than me. Yudhishthir, come play. And Yudhishthir rolled the dice and he lost. And he said, let's start betting now. Okay, whoever wins now, you will get all the palace that you see here. And they rolled the dice and they lost all the palace. And second again, let's roll a dice. And they decided now to bet all the army men and all the horses. When they rolled the dice, they lost. I hope if always bet always win. And they rolled the dice again and they lost everything until they were so desperate. One brother decided to say, well, here's what. I will play, and if I lose, my brother will be your slave. That's how far they reached. They lost kingdom and money and wealth and horses and everything. Okay, one brother, there are 5 brothers, one is playing the game. Well, if I lose, this brother will be your slave, and he lost it. Well, I have 3 more. Let me try one more time. Alright, next one, well, you go, sorry. I lose you too. And they lost another, and they lost another, until they lost all themselves. And when they were finished, they said, well, okay, we lose the kingdom and we lose ourselves and everything. Because of betting, because of gambling. And then the Duryodhana, who is one of the cousins, he says, well, you didn't lose everything yet. He says, you see that wonderful woman up there? She's called Draupadi. Why don't you bet her? Desperate to win. Those who gamble, you start putting everything and everything. And while you're giving everything, you lose even yourself and you don't even know what is it. They decided to now gamble and they decided to now bet on Draupadi. And they lost. When they lost, what did they do? Because she was lost in a game of dice. At that point, Duryodhana, he walked up the stairs. And when he went up to where she was in her room, he took his hand and he said to her, he says, today you have been lost in a game of dice. And she said, lost? I'm in my room, what are you talking about? You have been lost in a game of dice, today you will serve me now. And you want to talk to me like that? I will disrespect you in front of everybody. Come here. And he took his hand and he wrapped it around my hair and he pulled her up from where she was sitting and he dragged her down the stairs. And in front of everybody, he placed her in the middle of the hall. And she's saying, but what is this? She says, Arjuna, help me. And Arjuna bent his head because he lost. Yudhishthira, please do something. Being you're the powerful one, why don't you do something? And there, all of them, they will bend their heads one by one. And while they will bend their heads, friends and lovers, it is at this time now where she doesn't know what to do. Duryodhana says that I will disrobe you and let everybody see and laugh at you. You want to talk to me like that? Let everybody laugh at you. And as soon as he started pulling the sari, she held on so tight so that they can't pull, but they are men and they are powerful and they are warriors. And with 2 hands while she's holding on, suddenly one hand lets go and the other is still there and she doesn't know how to hold on anymore. And tears are flowing from her eyes. And she says, you know what? I can't do it anymore. She says, I can't do it. Prabhu, everything happens by your grace, only by you. Prabhu, I don't know what to do. You know what? I give up. And she let go with her hands. And when she let go, she says, Lord, I give up and I surrender. You are in charge. And you know what happened? When she opened her eyes, they're pulling sari, but the sari didn't fall down. Sari upon sari is being pulled and she's wondering, but what is happening here? And when she looked around and she looked in the sky, above and mid-air, who did she see? She smiled and she says, today you want to pull down my... Shri Radhe Gopala Shri Krishna Kahirana ki Jai. It is said, devotees, when just like Bhagavan Shri Krishna, just like the Pandavas who have lost the kingdom, in the same way Andak is sitting on the throne and his brothers, his stepbrothers come and they say to him, how is it that you could take the throne? You're not even born from here. You have been gifted, you're not even growing up here as a child. You were founded. And when he heard that, it is said he felt hurt from within. Being hurt from within, he stepped down from the throne, and it is said they looked at him and they pushed him aside. And they went to the throne and they sat there. And in his mind, Andak said to himself, you know what? I will turn to God and I will pray. One day I will come back and sit here. He turns around and he walks away, and while he's going, his mind is hurt. His heart is broken. He walks into the forested path and he sits down by himself and he's wondering, why is the world so harsh? How is the world like this? How could they speak to me like this? You know, like we always say, we can communicate with so many people in our lives and we can get things done if we want to, but you must talk to people the right way. It is not how you, it's not what you say, what bring down someone if you do the same thing by speaking to them. We must learn how to talk to people. It is important. Today in our message, this child walks away. This young man, Anha, he walks away and he's so hurt he doesn't know what to do. He goes to the forest and he sits by himself and he starts to think, now what kind of life is this now? Where do I go from here? What do I achieve? How will I live my life? Do you remember when Prabhu Ramachandra had gone? Prabhu Ram was sent into the forest, and it is said by mantra, Prabhu Ram looked at his father, grieved to death. He saw his father and he walked away, and while walking away from Ayodhya, he turned around and he saw everybody with tears in their eyes. You know that famous song? Banawari Banaraja Dulari Sabase Nata Tora Chale Mukamo Chale Aaj Hamare Ram Ayodhya Chor Chale Banawari Sabase Nata Tora Chale Aaj Hamare Ram. On that day, he sat down by himself and he's trying to be motivated. Some people ask the question, if I'm feeling hurt and down and depressed in my life, how to pick up and move from there? If you've had a financial crisis and you've been down to the dregs or to the earth, as we have to say, how to move from that point? If you've been in a marriage where the marriage has been one in which you were suffocating and there was problems and you couldn't move forward, how to move from there? If you've been through an emotional crisis in your mind, how to go from there? How to find that inner strength? He sat down there and he thought of Prabhu. He thought of the examples of the world and he says it is up to me now to become that better person. When you have a problem, pray about it. Don't take your problems everywhere. People take their problems, I have a best friend. We asked that earlier, who's your best friend? When you have a best friend, everything happens. Hey girl, hear this now. They tell you something. And you tell everybody your business. And the day that friend is angry with you, she tell everybody your business. You see how the world looks? Who to trust? Today, my friends, while he sits there, he turns his mind to Prabhu. But he turns his mind now to none other than Lord Brahma. And when he focuses, he remembers that day when it was spoken that Prabhu Ram had left. When Prabhu Ram left, the earth suffered. Ayodhya suffered. But the Lord, he was casted out just like Andak. Listen. Bhajana karu, bhojana karu, gautara karam, nishadine leelotari rahe, Parvati Shivasham. Jao, jao. जाओ जाओ रे अयोध्या राम जभी राम माता कौशल्य कर केलावट माता कौशल्य कर केलावट लालना रे राम कवि लालना रे जाओ 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 राम जाओ जाओ रे अयोध्या राम कवि लालना रे राम कवि लालना रे रावण हरि हो पार्वतारो अगतलाओ मणि संहारो रावण हरि हो पार्वतारो अगतलाओ मणि संहारो गौतम ऋषि के नारी अहिल्यारी राम कवि लालना रे जाओ 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 राम जाओ जाओ रे अयोध्या राम कवि लालना रे राम कवि लालना रे परशुरामुनि वन से गावे नरक करे से श्री बहुसारे परशुरामुनि वन से गावे नरक करे से श्री बहु अपन को जाने सुरत वन राम कवि लालना रे राम जाओ जाओ राम जाओ जाओ रे अयोध्या राम कवि लालना रे राम कवि लालना रे राम कवि वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Tonight, it is said Andak went into the forest and he sat down and he says, you know what, with this problem I will pray and I will continue to pray. And he decided to pray. He decided to fast and to worship none other than Brahma Dev. He sat down there and we put his hands together. He could barely see anything. He's blind. He said the step-brothers, they were laughing at him. Look at you, you're blind. How can you rule a kingdom? You can't even see anything. And he sat down and with the anger of being once more criticized, judged, he sat down and he says, I will pray and I will get over this. Om Brahmadev Namaha. And he continues, Om Brahmadev Namaha. And while he's praising Brahmadev, Lord Brahma is in Brahmaloka and he's shaken by the power and the love and the devotion that he feels. He opens his eyes after devotion and looks down and he sees his bhakta, this child, and he sees that he can't see anything. He's blind and he's chanting, Om Brahmadev Namaha. And there, Brahmadev says, let me bless this child. This child deserves blessing. He's chanting with so much love. Brahmadev leaves the skies and he comes down, and while he's coming down to the earthly region, he sees his child sitting there. And there he manifests just before him and he says, child, Ut, wake up. Child, I've accepted your prayer and I'm satisfied. I will bless you, Tathastu. What do you want? And he looks at Brahmadev and he pays his pranams and he bends his head, and after paying pranams, he says, spiritually, I can glance your energy and your strength. But while seeing you from that third eye, physically I can't see anything in the world. First, Brahmadev, give me physical eyesight. I want to see. Secondly, I want to become the king of the kingdom. It is only I who stood next to my father for years, and today I've been thrown out as though I know nothing. I am mighty and powerful also. And then third, I want to be powerful and strong that not even the three gods can destroy me. Not even Dattatreya. Who's Dattatreya? Dattatreya is the combination of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. He says not even Dattatreya can destroy me. And there Brahmadev says, Saubhagyavati, Ayushman Bhava, Tathastu. I bless you. You will be powerful. The world will see your greatness. And immediately by winking his eyes, he started to physically see the trees. And he started to see the rocks that are around. And he started to see the earth. And now the eyesight is coming back. And while he would see around him, it is said, he's grateful and he's thankful. Now that he has strength, and now that he can see, he goes back now to the kingdom. And when he goes to the kingdom, in his mind, he wants to receive his throne in which he had been put out. He goes to the kingdom and there he sees his brothers and he walks up and he calls that army and he says, today if you don't move from that throne and if you don't let me get that kingdom, then I will destroy everybody who's here. He walks up with his army and as soon as his stepbrothers see him coming, looking stronger and powerful, they all stepped aside so that no problem will derive from that situation. When they all stepped aside, he sat down and he says, today I will rule. I live in this kingdom as a demon Rakshasa, grown up by my father. And nobody will be able to take this from me now. As a matter of fact, not even the Trimurti destroy me. He says, now with this strength and with this power that I have. And he sits to command, and he sits to criticize, and he sits now, my friends, to laugh at the gods. While he sits there, he sends out his army men into the forest. He says, any piece of land you want to conquer, conquer it for me. I want to rule. I want to have as much land as I can. Do you know people in today's world who want to acquire as much land as they can? You know people who fight for land, I think? Anybody know anybody who fight for land? I look in khakis. Jai Bhagwan. In today's world, people fight for land. And in the end, they get none. One day in a funeral ceremony, I was standing. And while we were about to now cremate the father of the home, we were about to put the body into the fire. And just before we put the body, the son comes and says, Pandit, wait. I said, come on, we have to go with time. It is the right time to do everything, come on. He says, wait 1 minute. And he ran in the back, and he went and he dug out a big piece of dirt like this, and he came up to the box and he dropped it inside the box right by the father's head and said, what are you doing? He said, while I was alive, my father fight me for land, so let me take land now. People fight for land. Parents sometimes kick out their children for land. When the children inherit now and the land deed goes on their name, now the children kick out the parents too. That is the reality in today's world. People fight for land and wealth and they feel they will be mighty when they get a piece of land. At the end of the day, we only want a spot to live in. And like some devotees have said to me, the only piece of land you will ever own in your life, if so, is if you go 6 feet below. That is all you will have. Only the ashes will go in the waters. Today he sits and he says, I want land. Send out my army. Look for land everywhere. Wherever you see land, you conquer it and bring it to me. I want to own all the land. And while he sends him to own the land, or he sends his ministers and all the army men, now in our Katha, the army men, they're going into the forest and they're searching. And while they're going, suddenly now, this is what they saw. Suddenly, they saw one sadhu sitting on the ground. While he's sitting on the ground, his dulhin is sitting next to him. And they stop to look now. Imagine a whole army is here, and they see one sadhu on the ground, and they see one dulhin next to him is sitting right there. But she's beautiful. They looked at the sadhu, and when they saw him, he's half naked. They don't understand they are rakshasas. They are demons. They won't even think. And he's sitting there and he's half naked. He has a matted lock. He's holding a staff and there's a trishul. Who is it? He's sitting there. And next to him is his consort. Who? Parvati Mata. She sits beautifully decked. Dressed so nice, and they said, Kya baat? Young boys, when you see a nice girl, what do you say? What do you say? In India they say बहुत सुंदर लड़की है. They saw this most beautiful Devi sitting there and they said, you know what? I think you'll be the perfect match for our king in his kingdom. I think you'll be the rightful one. Are you willing to go back with us? And there this sadhu is sitting there, Mahadev, and he looks at Devi and he smiles. He says, you got a compliment today. Devi, you got a compliment today. She says, Mahadev, what would we say about the world? And she smiled with him, listen. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, Shankara. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, Shankara. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shankara. Hara 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 Namah Shivaya, Hara 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 Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, it is, my dear friends, at that point, the army men, they're looking, all the army, the soldiers, they're looking at this wonderful woman and they say, look so beautiful. We will give you an opportunity of a lifetime. We'll give you a blessing that will never come back. All you need to do is listen to us. And she says, listen to what? They say, if you leave this half-naked man here, you sitting in the forest. What does he have? A piece of loincloth, a staff. He can't even provide a house for you. But our king can give you a kingdom. You could get servants. You could get anything you want to eat, anything you want to drink. You can live the best life if you want to. And she looks at Mahadev and she smiles. Such is the world today. Many people will be fooled by lust, by greed, by temptation, and not by the reality of what life really is. In today's world, many women will be disrespected because of lust and because of that eye of thirst. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, Shankara. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, Shankara. Hara 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 Namah Shivaya, Hara 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 Namah Shivaya, 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 Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Shiva Shankara, Shankara. वृंदावन में हरिलाल की, उमापति महादेव की जय. She says, Mahadev, what to do now? She says, Prabhu, the world in today's world nowadays, people of today's world will fall victim of lust. Nobody will respect women anymore. It is the play of the world. A verse of Adi Shankaracharya says, Bala stavata krida saktah, Taruna stavaturani saktah, Vritta stavachitinta saktah, Parame brahmani kopi. That they won't be able to control themselves. For example, we're doing Katha here tonight. And if one woman dressed up nice just get up from there to come here, I could be reading whatever. Everybody I will go so. Not so? Who's that boy? I'm not saying only in this mandir, right? But even in an audience, every young person's eye, every young man's eye will look and say, who's that girl, right? Maybe the young girls might say, I wonder where she get that dress from. but everybody's eyes will be lost, captivated. In today's world, it is said women will lose respect because men will disrespect them. People will run after lust rather than what is true love and respect. The world will be in a place right now today where many people will be disrespected. And he says people will become attached and they will use the world like a toy. And none will see the reality. If when you were 5 years old, you had like a tricycle, you know the tricycle, right? With the 3 wheels? If when you were 5 years old, you had loved a tricycle and you went by your dad and said, you know what, Dad, I want to get a tricycle, please. And he said, well, my child, you know, I don't have. When they see a young girl, they say, see that girl? She comes from a good home. She has a good brought up. She is a good child. Live in the world in such a way that people look up at you and not look down at you. Live in the world where people can work together with you and smile and say those are good people, but not to pull down. Today in our message, these men are looking at her and they turn to Mahadev first and they say, Sadhu, pranams. Don't be scared of us. We have weapon and so on. You just a little sadhu. And they turned to him and they said, we want to ask you and we want to tell you, today we're going to take your dulahin from you. That's okay, right? We're going to ask you, but we're also going to tell you we're taking her. And he looked at Devi and he says, Devi, you know what? He turned back at them and he says, if you want to take her, that is up to her. I am a sadhu and I am supposed to be detached. So I am detached. That's up to her now. So he let go. Now these army men are standing there and they say now to her, Devi, you've gotten your consent. Will you leave with us? She says, where will I go? Our king is strong and powerful. She says to all of them, do you know how powerful I am? And they laughed at her and they said, how powerful can you be? You're just a woman. You just know how to look good. She says to him there and then, she says, well, probably, maybe the end of the life of your king is coming near. If you want me to come, I could come. But it won't last long. And they looked at her and they said, you know what? Let's go back and tell the king. They left and they went back to find the king. And when they went to find the king and they reached the kingdom, they walk up to the king and he says, Raja, I want to tell you something. There's a beautiful woman in the forest. She is fit to be your queen, but she doesn't want to come with us. We decided to ask her husband, but he says he's detached and he doesn't take part. And we asked her, but she doesn't want to come. And then the king says, if she won't come with you, don't worry, I will go and I will bring her myself. So he prepares an army, he prepares himself, he goes on his chariot, he dresses in his fine wear, and he's about to go. And in the meantime now, Mahadev is sitting next to Parvati Mata, and Mahadev says, Devi, you know they're going to come back, right? And she says, yes, I know. He says, well, I am the detached one. I will leave and I will go to our next cave right now and I will sit down one side. Devi, I'll tell you why. I will leave because I know you will destroy him because of your anger. But I cannot take part. She says, but why? Remember, he was born from me. I can't destroy my creation. And secondly, he was given a gift that none of the Dattatreya, 3 gods, can destroy him. Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. This is not up to me now. This is up to you. He left and he walked away, and when he went, he says, Nandi, protect her if you must. He told the Ganas, all his followers were there, protect her. And Lord Shiva left. And when Mahadev left, it is said, Devi Mata, Parvati, she goes in the nearby cave and she sits inside the cave. She says, Nandi and all the Ganas, you stand here and you wait and you protect me. I will stay inside. And while they are all standing on the outside, suddenly now the entire entourage is about to come. Suddenly everybody is about to come. And while everybody is coming to search and to find now this Devi, while they are looking for her, Scripture tells us now, suddenly the army comes, and who do they see? They see the mighty bull, Nandi the bull. They decide now, while seeing the bull, they see now the Ganas are standing there. And they said to Nandi, if you don't move, we will destroy you. And Nandi looks at all the Ganas and he said to them, they look at a mighty bull like me. I have the strength of Mahadev, and they tell me they will destroy me. Well, Har Har Mahadev. And while he stands there, they start chanting in him. Varade, 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 Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. That while the entire army is standing, they are opposing now Nandi the bull. And while he's standing in front of Nandi, Nandi stands up and he says, if all of you want to live, go back home. If you all want to survive, go back home. Don't stay here. And Anda, he looks at Nandi and he says, great bull, you don't know my strength. I am powerful. I am one of the kings of the demon clan. I have been blessed by Lord Brahma. And not even Mahadev can destroy me. Don't you know that? And then he starts to boast on his strength. Never boast as to who you are. Never think ahead of yourself. Never think that you're better than anybody in the world. Always have that mutual love and mutual respect. You know what? Something needs to be done. Bring more army from my door. How strong we are. And while they're bringing too much, Mahadev in his meditative posture, he knows that something is becoming too much. He knows that they are too much to fight the Ganas. So Lord Shiva, he closes his eyes and through third eye vision, Divya Chakshus, he calls upon the mother. Ma, the atmosphere starts to change. Suddenly the air becomes cool and the wind starts to blow. It is said suddenly now in mid-air, all the gods of the skies will come down to witness. What will they witness? Coming like a bright light from the cave, that beautiful form of the Divine Mother. She is Adi Shakti. She is Parashakti. She is the Supreme Goddess. She is Sri Durga Devi Mata. And as soon as she comes and she stands in mid-air, All the gods put their hands together. And what will they sing? Jai Jai Ma, Jai जयन्ति मंगलाकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवरात्रि स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते ओम दुम दुर्गाय नमः। आज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय। Durga Mata in her most powerful form, she comes out of the cave and she comes in mid-air, and from in the skies the gods start showering flowers upon her, because Devi has manifested to show the world her strength. As soon as she came in mid-air, she comes down to where the Ganas are. He says, Devi, why don't you down your weapons? Look how beautiful you look. It doesn't befit you and benefit you to hold weapons. You look too nice to hold a weapon. In Ramayana, one day Ravana came down from his throne and he walked up to Sita Devi. He says, Devi, and he took out his sword like this and he placed it by her neck and he says, Devi Sita, I dare you today. I want you to look at me. If you look at me, my eyes just once, everything here will be yours. You will have slaves and you will have kingdom and you will have money and you will have wealth and anything that you want. But if you don't look at me, I will behead you. Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki. To all the women here tonight, if a man walks up to you and says, look me in the eye with love and I will give you money and wealth and servants, will you do it? How many people will do it? Them young girls do so. All he said to us, look him in the eyes and money and wealth and kingdom is yours. You won't know? Sita Devi said, no. I will keep my character. I will keep my name. I will keep my personality. I will remain as a devoted woman and a dedicated woman to my home, to my husband, to my family. And she bent her head and she says, if you want to destroy me and behead me, then so be it. But today, I will not even look at you, Ravana. And Ravana became angry and agitated and she says, if you want to do that, destroy, why would I sit there and fool myself? When he walked away, scripture tells us, here is yours. Nandi and all the Ganas, they came together. And you know what they did? He says, Ma, let us show and let us teach the world how to worship Devi. And he will learn a lesson. And then you do what you must. Devi, she stood there with all her arms. She stood there with all her weapons. And all the gods came. How did they worship her? Aaj Shakti Durga Mata ki! Hey Durga Maiya, manao din ratiya. Hey Durga Maiya, manao din ratiya. Hey Durga Maiya, 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 manao din ratiya. Pura charao mara water, and they offered Narya, which is the coconut, and they offered the coconut to the Divine Mother. Hey Durga Maya, hey Durga Maya, hey Durga Maya, hey Durga Maya, Manawa Dinaradiya, hey Durga Maya, Manawa Dinaradiya, hey Durga Maya, Manawa Dinaradiya. Shakti Durga Mata ki! It is said at that point they decided to worship the mother. Phool charao, mala charao, dhoot charao, naivedya charao. They started charawing the flowers, the prasad, the milk, the mala, the water, Ganga jal, and coconuts. And when they made the offerings to the mother became satisfied. At that point, feeling satisfied with the love and the prayer for all the gods, she says today, Anda, you will meet your end. Maybe Lord Shiva can't destroy you. Maybe Lord Vishnu. Maybe Prabhu Brahmadev can't destroy you. I, the divine goddess of the cosmos, will show the world. And Devi rose in the air with her tiger. And when she looked down and she saw him, at that point he decided to take weapons to now launch at her. And before he could even show it, the Devi, she then pulled her bow with arrows, and hundreds of arrows cut his last. The only thing that comes out of his lip, maaf kijiye, ma. And while he's breathing his last, it is said he saw the energy of Prabhu Shankar. And Lord Shiva says, child, today, you would have remembered where you were, and more so, you've disrespected the Devi. When the Devi destroyed him, all the gods started to now ring the celestial bells. It is said the shunk of the skies was heard. It is said Devi Mata decided to rise higher and higher to the skies, and all the gods have sanctioned now the strength of good will always triumph over evil. Good things will always take place in our life when you worship the divine Devi. Aaj Shakti Durga Mata ki, Jagadamba Devi Mata ki. Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani. Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani. Everybody all together. Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani. It is said while the energy of the mother rose into the skies, all the gods will then sanction that from today, whoever praises the mother, forgetting the world, and devotes themselves to worship, in this time, especially of the Navratri, it is a time where devotees will sacrifice their time, their efforts, their energy, and they worship Shakti Mata. So those who can pray to her with full faith, with love, with devotion, casting out the world and forgetting all the negativities of the world, your life will be rich in them. Satya Maya Mangala Bani Hai, Satya Maya Mangala Bani Hai, Satya Mukhatani Bhavani, Satya Mukhatani Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani. बनी है प्यारी देखी मैया मंगना बनी है सिंदूर देखी मुस्कानी भवानी सिंदूर देखी मुस्कानी भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी. When the mother's name was glorified and praised, from that day devotees will then worship the supreme goddess as Adi Shakti. With this, my friends, we end our beautiful message tonight. We end our katha tonight. And it has been 3 beautiful sessions being in this wonderful mandir. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of myself and the members of the Silasa Gandharvas to thank the members of this mandir, most importantly Bhaiji Inderjeet. Special thanks for giving us, on behalf of my Gandharvas and myself, to you, to your wonderful Dulahin, to your family members, and all devotees of this mandir. It has been a pleasure being here to elevate the energies of Shri Durga Mata. And at this time, as we conclude, before we go into Aarti, let us have one bhajan from one of the members of the mandir. and then we will join in our final arati. Beautiful bhajan. Wonderful. Let's give a round of applause again, everybody. Take a moment to say a prayer. While we sit here, let us remember that many of our family members who are here tonight, many of our family members who live abroad, there's so many devotees in Florida today who have been praying. They've been asking Prabhu once more to be saved and to receive His glory, His blessing. Tonight, all together, we will pray for all the families and all our loved ones and all those who reside in Florida. There are many of them who are tuned in tonight live. And while they're tuning in, definitely, this is their moment of faith and confidence and blessing while they await the storm to pass. So let us say a prayer, everyone. You close your eyes, and if you have a loved one, friends, relatives, whoever they may be. Om Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhutanti Harani Jai Sarvigate Devi Kalaratri Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Kshama Shivadatri Swaha Sadha Namostute. And while we send strength of Mahavir Swami to them as well, may they have the strength to fight all the odds of the world. May they have the encouragement and the confidence and the inner strength to withstand the troubles that may be around in that storm. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudhari Varna Raghuvar Bimala Jaso Jodaya Kuparachari Buddhi Ratan Janike Sumira Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Deho Mohi Harav Kale Shaviga Siyapati Ramachandra Ki Jai Sharanam. To all those who are tuned in from Florida, special blessings on behalf of all the members of this wonderful mandir tonight as we pray for your safety and the guidance of our Lord. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki. Let us all stand for final arati. Suno meri Devi Parvatavasini Tera karana paya Tera karana paya Suno meri Devi Parvatavasini Tera karana paya Swaminatha Sachidananda Jai Gurunatha Sachidananda Swaminatha Sachidananda Jai Gurunatha Sachidananda Tvameva Mata च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धो चे शान्ति हरि ओम घोर वही दिन जाग गया में हो रही जय आरती जय माँ हे पावना वाली आरती जय माँ हे चोले वाली आरती जय माँ हे माँ बिंदी रानी आरती जय माँ। आज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की कृष्ण के लाल की सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम। Ask me to salute and take our seats. As we all take our seats at this time now, as I've come to the end, may the blessings of the Divine Mother be with each and every one in this most auspicious time of the Navratri period, where many devotees will take the opportunity to praise our Lord, to praise the Divine Mother. Remember to pray with a pure heart and receive her blessing wherever you are in this world. And tonight, as we come to the end, be sure to partake of your prasad, your arti, and also meals have been prepared for each and every one on your extreme left, on my right. And until we will meet once more, Bhagwan's blessings to everyone, and Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, everyone, again. I just want to, on behalf of myself and all the members of our mandir, as much as I'm happy, I'm sad as well, because Pandit won't be here from tomorrow, but nevertheless, I know he has other commitments, and as much as we love him, there are other devotees that really, really love him as well. So we have to share him as well. We want to thank you from the bottom of our heart, Panditji, for hearing our invitation, and we do look forward for your visit again sometime soon. Thank you so much.